So we've just had the qualifying session for the Australian Grand Prix, and well, that was very different, wasn't it, to what we've expected from before. But some news to bring you ahead of the session. Logan Sargeant will not be taking part in the whole Grand Prix weekend. Alex Albon dropped it in FP1, and actually through no fault of his own, Sargeant, they've taken his car off him, given it to Alex Albon because they think he is their best bet for some points. Extremely harsh on Logan Sargeant, but I'm sure he can understand, and most other people will understand why they've made that decision. It's probably the right one. Carlos Sainz was also fit. He'll be racing this weekend after his appendix has been taken out. Zach Brown also has going to be taking the seat in McLaren for until 2030, so he remains as the CEO. Long contract for him. Susie Wolff also filed a criminal complaint in the French court against the FIA following that botch investigation that started and stopped almost instantly. And finally, Ben Sulayem, who has been cleared of his race interference with the penalty for Fernando Alonso and also the Vegas circuit certification by an independent FIA compliance department. So they've marked their own homework and said he's been cleared on that one. But yeah, let's get to the qualifying session and Q1. Obviously, it was Joe Guanzu who qualified in 19th place. Daniel Ricciardo in his home race starts P18. He had a lap time deleted, run wide at turn 5. Pierre Gasly continues a poor form for Alpine. He starts in 17th place. Nico Hülkenberg in 16th place. The star of that session was Alex Albon, actually. He was under pressure purely because he's the sole remaining Williams. He's the one that dropped it, so actually he's got a lot to prove, hasn't he, to say this is the right call. And a P7 in the Q1 session was started right on the right foot, didn't he? Yuki Tsunoda also a brilliant start to his session, a P8 in that one. Sainz led the way in Q1 with Perez and Verstappen, and then into Q2 Ocon lines up in 15th place, Magnussen 14th, Bottas 13th, Albon 12th, and Lewis Hamilton, the shock in that one, a P11, and they struggled. Even in Q1 they were sort of looking like they will be out in Q2, to be honest with you. They were 12th and 13th, so they didn't look like they had the car in them, despite a promising FP3 where they were 3rd and 4th. So that pace from earlier in the day just disappeared as the day went on, didn't it? So not sure, and there'll be a lot of head scratching at Mercedes of what's actually gone on there. And again, it was Yuki Tsunoda, a P9, got himself into Q3, and Oscar Piastri was a brilliant P4, I think, in that session. The two Ferraris led the way there. It was Carlos Sainz by Charles Leclerc and Verstappen. And then into the final Q3 session, and it's Max Verstappen on pole position. He pulled off an incredible lap, to be honest with you. It looked like it was all the Ferrari, didn't it, all the way up into that final session, and Ferrari's just seemed to have dropped the ball a little bit, but it was a mega lap from Max Verstappen. First only guy into the 115s, sticks it on pole. I think he did a tremendous job with that one, because for all the world it looked like it would be a Ferrari pole position. And in second place, Carlos Sainz off an appendix. I think this is an absolutely fantastic job from him. He absolutely looked on it, and I'm sure it'll be a long hard race for him tomorrow, but he's done a fantastic job to start there. Third place for Sergio Perez, and this is more like it, isn't it? Much better in qualifying, closer to Verstappen, and hopefully if Max just runs off with it, we'll have Perez chasing him down in the sister Red Bull if there's going to be any fight between them, and they just are too fast for anyone else in race pace, although the Ferraris do look good in the race. And it was a brilliant lap from Lando Norris to stick it in 4th place. I think he done a tremendous job in that one, because they never really shown the pace to beat into the sort of the Red Bull Ferrari fight, so to pick up a place on that, I think that was absolutely brilliant. Charles Leclerc will be most disappointed. He starts up in 5th place. He abandoned his last lap, made too many mistakes on that one, so a lot of work to do for him from there, but the Ferrari does look good in race pace over practice, so hopefully they'll be able to carry that tomorrow into the race. Oscar Piastri lines up in 6th place. He was a little bit disappointed with his last lap, but I think he's still done a decent job there. he'd be disappointed he's been beaten by his teammate, but I think his teammate did a brilliant job. George Russell, a P7. Yeah, Mercedes have just been absolutely nowhere this weekend, and it's probably the best he could have hoped for. A P8 for Yuki Tsunoda. I mean, that is absolutely a fantastic job from him, isn't it? He's really showing he's the man at the moment, isn't he? He's beating Daniel Ricciardo and put him on the side, and this is a really good lap from him. You know, beats the 2 Aston Martins, and Lance Stroll in P9. He beats his teammate Fernando Alonso, who Alonso will line up in P10. A good change in performance for Lance Stroll. He's normally been hammered by his teammate Fernando Alonso, so he's probably glad he's finally got one up early in the qualifyings on Fernando Alonso. But it looks set to be a brilliant race tomorrow, doesn't it? Verstappen up ahead, Sainz, Perez, Norris, Leclerc. You know, there should be some good fighting, especially early on between them. It'll be interesting to see how the race pace develops, especially considering the Ferrari have shown they've got some pace, potentially to take the fight to Red Bull. But Max Verstappen again proving he's too good. Absolutely fantastic lap from him. Can't wait for the action to get started tomorrow. It's a 5 AM start UK time. Watch out for the race review. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment as always. See you next time.